everybody can do that, right? The first thing you can, if you want, you can do it with me. I know that you say that you don't like, you didn't like math, but let's try this together because it's not very difficult, right? So you can Google and say, how many days, so that is the thing, first thing we need, how many days from today, and you can use ChatGPT or whatever today, how many days today from January 3, 2009, right, when Bitcoin was created. And usually it gives you a day. So it's today is 6,009. I don't know if you got the same number, if you tried. So we actually can add it to a slide. We can do the calculation together. In fact, I will write it down here. Insert text box. So today is 6,009 days, right? Today is 6/17 from 2025. Okay, from January 3, 2009, right? And it's very easy. People can simply Google this. The way I do it, I simply say how many days today from January 3, 2009, and you get a big answer here. The AI calculates it for you to 6,009 days. Okay, so then we go back to the formula, and according to the formula, we have that the price is equal to 10 to the minus 17. What is the relevance of this minus 17? It's a very small number because if you put 1 here, right, so of day 1, you take the power of anything, you take 1, if you have 1, you take the power of whatever, right? So 1 to the power of whatever is always 1. So that means the day 1, the price of Bitcoin, according to this formula, was 10 to the minus $17. That is basically 0 with 16 zeros, $1, right? But nothing, basically it says, okay, day 1, Bitcoin was worth nothing. But what happened after 6,009 days? Okay, I take 6,009, I take this power, 5.83, and you can use a scientific calculator. Sometimes, I even do it in the browser. The browser can, if you use the browser, it can calculate that for you. So if you take 10 to the minus 17, right? I'm doing it in the browser. Times, I take 6,009, and then I take 5.83.
I think we only see the PowerPoint thing.
I can share that, but I'm just putting in the browser. I will write down here. I'm copying and pasting. I'm putting in wherever, when you do a search in the browser, you can, I don't know if you ever try, but it can calculate stuff for you. Price equal, and if you do this, I can show you how it looks like in my browser in a second. In fact, let's do it right now because that will be a big reveal. Okay, let me stop sharing this and then sharing again. Share screen. It's a lot of, because maybe I should use, do you see now this? You're able to see it? Because do you see my browser?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so this is how I put it in here. Say 10 to the minus 17. This is how you write it with this caret sign. It means 2 times 6,000, 5.83. Look what you get. It's $107,250.
Almost exactly the price. We are now at $104 and $400.
Yeah, it's not crazy.
It's super crazy, man. It's like that accuracy, and it has been there since 8 years now, or 7 years, or something like that.
Yeah, it's the same formula we have used for many years now.
Man, and basically also because people are always asking, like when do we reach the million? When do you can just basically expand the days, and then you see
you can try different days and see when we get the price. Or if you want another formula, I can show you that people can play with. Let me do that. It's actually easier than what we just did. So one formula you can use is this, right? So let me write it here. So we basically we say 107, right? We'll say 250. Okay, let's try this other formula. So imagine I want to know how many more times Bitcoin is going to be valued in 20 years from or 10 years from now or whatever, right? Um, so you do this. You take this ratio between the time you're looking in the future. So right now, Bitcoin is 16 years old, right? In 10 years, will be 26. So you write down the age of a system to whatever, right? 10 years from now. You want to project it 10 years from now. In fact, right, we say it was going to take 8 years um, to be 1 million. So that will be 8 years from now, that is, we are now 16, it will be, Bitcoin will be 24 years old. Do you agree? 16 plus 8 is 24, right? Bitcoin will be 24 years old in 8 years from now. Do you agree with that?
Of course.
Okay. And then you divide it by the current age. So you can do this at any time. Take the future date, the future age of Bitcoin, you divide it by the current age, and then you're taking that power, 5.83. You take the same power. If you do this, you can also try. Again, I use you can use a calculator, or you can put it in the browser. So you do, okay, and you do that ratio. It is 21. No, sorry, we say 24 divided 16, 5.83. So that is 10.63. 10.63. So Bitcoin will be 10 times, right? Let's round it to 10. 10.63 times more valuable than now. And right now we are okay. So that means in 8 years, we are what? Basically 10 times more, right? 10, almost 11 times more. But let's be conservative, 10 times, that is 1 million.
I think if I put it in, and if you take it exactly, it's like 1,140,000, but like around 1 million. That's amazing.
So this is what it says. So and it does work all this time. I'm pretty sure it's going to work for 2 orders of magnitude more. So it gives us a feeling of where Bitcoin is going and a long time it's taking. And some people don't like that because they don't want to wait 8 years. But remember, it's not about you, it's about Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin knows better. Bitcoin knows that cities are eternal and they follow power law. And this how it's not that there is Bitcoin is a person and is thinking. It's this collective intelligence, right, in the system that found what nature found, and it took billions of years. That is the other amazing thing. Evolution took billions of years to actually found this pattern of power laws. Uh, you know, uh, as I told you, you can find it online. There is an article that talks about how shells and horns and thorns they all follow power laws, and there is a reason. There is a reason because evolution selected this growth as kind of a least effort type of growth, the one that is more efficient, that uses resources the best, and so on. In fact, you can make a plot. I have a plot here, that shows that the growth of a tusk of an elephant over time. It's a power law. And in fact, you could use it as a diagnostic tool and say if an elephant does something else, probably there is something wrong with the elephant. This graph you see here, I have radius of a side. This is the radius of a tusk. The blue is the male because it has bigger tusk. You see, it's a steeper power law. That means it grows faster, right? Males they use the tusk also for fighting, for kind of love rituals or whatever it's called. And the pink one is the female. They are both power laws because remember, we are dealing with the power law given it's factor of 10, right? 5, 10, 50. This is the age of the elephant. That is another thing that people that don't know about power law is say, oh, but you don't have power law in time. This is a power law in time. This is exactly that. It's like Bitcoin, Is the task of an elephant grow like Bitcoin with the power law in time. Uh, and you see, they scale up. It's a scaling phenomena. And it's predictive because you could look at the growth at age 10 and extrapolate this growth. And people could say, well, the past is not indicative of the future. Yes, it is if you're dealing with a scaling phenomena because the underlying mechanism is the same. It's not going to change. And you can predict how big the task of the elephant will be at 20, 30, 40 years, whatever. And if it doesn't fall, there will be variability. Maybe, there was more food available. It grew faster during the time and there was less food. Here, maybe it was some kind of, lack scarcity, whatever, But in general, it follows this pattern. You can simplify with that line. And it's predictive because you can tell, given the growth of the elephant at any given point, how it's going to look in the future. And this is nature. Nature found this to be the best way to grow things in animal because, it takes resources, take energy, takes minerals, etc., to build this task. And nature wants to do it in the best possible way. And it took billions of years to come up with this. Bitcoin did it in basically from the start, because there is intelligence in how we operate, how we interchange, how we discover the price. It's really fascinating. If you stop for a moment and really think about this deeply, then you realize, wow, this is the most fascinating, most beautiful discovery about Bitcoin ever. And it's not about me, it's about Bitcoin. I'm trying to communicate how beautiful Bitcoin is. I
I
was
love that.
lucky to discover this thing. I was blessed. It's very humbling. It's not about arrogance. It's about how beautiful Bitcoin is. Look at this: a universal power law for modeling the growth of teeth, claws, horns, thorns, beaks, shells. All power laws. So Bitcoin, it's like this. It's nature. There is cleverness and beauty and intelligence.
How has it actually been for you? I've watched you the past 1.5 years, being in the space, being sometimes hated on, loved on, being criticized, being like cheered on, like both directions. I see a lot of people. It seems like everyone that I talk to, he has either a good or bad opinion on that. You're like almost a controversial figure. How has it been the past years for you being in that space and having like also I remember the British Hoddle spaghetti thing and all those kind of iconic moments. How has it been for you personally?
In general, I mean, if I had to sum it up, amazing. Because first of all, for every troll, there are 10 people that it's like a silent majority because they are not loud on the comments. They don't say things there, but they DM me, and there are a lot of people that tell me, Giovanni, I was on the fence before listening to what you have to say about the power law, and now you orange pill me. A lot of people, that continuously DM me, even today. And it's amazing, that is really, as a Bitcoiner, is one of the best things that you can imagine, that there are other people that get some value from what you're producing, and there is some deeper understanding of Bitcoin that increases their conviction, that makes them understand Bitcoin better. And so there are a lot of people like that, and that is amazing and beautiful, and very humbling. There are, beside all the things like people recognize me when I go to a conference, stopping me, etc. But that, it's a ego thing, and it's fun, but it has its limited value. But so it's in general has been super positive, and I'm doing a lot of progress in understanding Bitcoin, in having people like Steven, for example, working with me. We are doing the institute, so there is a lot of progress. But there is also a lot of frustration. Like, for example, I was not invited to the Las Vegas conference, and it's extremely puzzling. And again, it has nothing to do with me as an individual. It's just like, why will you not want to know that Bitcoin grows like shells and thorns and horns, and there is this incredible order and beauty in nature, and Bitcoin does the same. It's not something that you want to have at least a panel or some discussion about this, and you want to explore, even just as a possibility, and I don't know why some people, in particular, some OGs that think they know everything about Bitcoin, they are pushing back. I think it's a combination of things from ignorance. I'm sorry if it sounds arrogant to say that, but it's literally that. It's ignorance about a fundamental topic. Did they ever read an article like that? Do they know how to calculate a power law? Do they understand the relevance of power law? They don't. Most people that say these kind of things, they don't have a basis. And then there are some people that ideologically are against, I don't know what, like that Bitcoin is predictable, maybe, because we like that. Yes, it goes up, but maybe in an unpredictable fashion. And then there is a group of people that will like this explosion. We say 8 years for $1 million. I would like to be next year, not 8 years from now, right? And it's very selfish, and it's also very, again, ignorant, because it will be actually negative for Bitcoin. Like you say, if imagine you have this city and all of a sudden there is I was in Baton Rouge when we had the flood, when we had a Katrina in I don't know if you know, because you lived in Europe, but Katrina was it affected New Orleans. So it is about 1 hour from Baton Rouge, where I lived. And we had all this influx from New Orleans. The city doubled, Baton Rouge doubled in a matter of weeks or months. And it was chaos. It was chaos. It was not very good for the city. Now, the city eventually adapted to that. But, we are talking about two. If we are talking about going from 100 to 1 million, that is a factor of 10, it will be destructive for Bitcoin. So people don't understand this kind of thing.
Thank you for watching this video. This was only a snippet of the podcast. And if you want to watch the full episode and get all of the context of this episode, you can click right here or here. Oh, maybe also here.